Hello, everyone. Today we will look at the real Dracula, how he grew up, the wars he fought, and why he got the name Dracula. This is the real history of the legend called Dracula, aka Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler was born in Sighisoara, Transylvania in 1431. Sighisoara is now in Romania, but at the time it was part of Hungary. His father, Vlad II, was the ruler of Wallachia, a principality in the southern part of present-day Romania. When Vlad was just 9 years old, his father went to Hungary to meet King Sigismund and secure an alliance between their two territories. But on the way back, Vlad's father was killed by assassins. This left Vlad and his younger brother to take over their father's lands. However, because they were too young to rule, their uncle, John, took over as regent. Sadly, Uncle John wasn't a very nice guy. He actually ruled like a god over Wallachia and treated the people horribly. It was during this time that Vlad and his brother started to plan a rebellion against their uncle. They knew that they had popular support, but they needed military support, too. So they went to the Ottoman Empire and asked for an army. The Ottomans agreed, but they wanted something in return. They wanted Vlad and his brother to convert to Islam. The brothers agreed and soon converted to the new religion. After converting, Vlad and his brother returned home and quickly defeated their uncle in battle. Soon after, Vlad became the Prince of Wallachia. He ruled wisely and was well liked by his people. He lowered taxes and gave the peasants more rights. Because of this, he became known as Vlad the Impaler, because he helped the poor people of Wallachia, just like Jesus impaled the rich and powerful. However, not everyone liked Vlad the Impaler. The merchants of the region hated him because he lowered their profits. Also, Vlad was once invited to a banquet by the King of Hungary, but when he arrived, he brought so much food with him that he basically insulted the king. Vlad was then labeled a traitor, and a war was started between Wallachia and Hungary. During the war, Vlad often had to leave the protection of his castles to forage for food. Foraging is when a military group leaves their main base to find food in the surrounding areas. Vlad knew that his army wouldn't survive the winter without enough food, so he did something horrible. He ordered his soldiers to kill anyone who didn't give them food. He also slaughtered entire villages and even invited some of the nobles to watch the executions. After hearing about this, Pope Calixtus III labeled Vlad a heretic, meaning someone who doesn't believe in the same religion as the majority. And this is where the rumors of Dracula being a heretic started. However, Vlad continued to fight against the Hungarians until he was finally captured. When Vlad was taken to Hungary, he was forced to watch as his son and brother were executed in front of him. Then Vlad himself was put in jail, where he stayed for 4 years. In 1467, Vlad was set free and he returned to Wallachia. But the people didn't want him to be their prince anymore, so they exiled him. Vlad then lived the rest of his life as a wanderer until he died in 1476. Now, throughout the video, I haven't mentioned the name Dracula. That's because historians aren't 100% sure if he had that name. However, we do know that Vlad was given the name Dracula when he was made into a legend. So why is Vlad called Dracula? The first reason is because of his family name. When Vlad's family moved to Transylvania, they changed their name from Dracula to Vala. However, outside of the family, people still called them Dracula. Over time, the name Dracula became their last name. The second reason is because of Vlad's coat of arms. A coat of arms is like a symbol that represents a family or an individual. Vlad's coat of arms had a red shield with 3 pieces of fruit on it. These pieces of fruit are called grapes. And you know what else is made of grapes? Wine. In medieval Europe, most wine was made by monks, and monks don't really drink. So where did all the wine go? To the leaders of each territory. Wine was a symbol of power and wealth. So it's likely that Vlad enjoyed drinking wine, which could explain why he has a grapevine in his coat of arms. Now, Dracula is actually Romanian for son of the dragon. And back in medieval times, the dragon was a symbol of power and evil. So having a dragon in your coat of arms meant that you were a powerful leader. For these reasons, it's likely that Vlad had the name Dracula because of his love of wine and his coat of arms.